Murdering Nosicelo Mtebeni, the 23-year-old law student at the University of Fort Hare, appeared in court moments ago. The 25-year-old Alutha Pasile abandoned his bail application last month during his first appearance. Abongile Jantjies is in East London to talk about what happened in court, in court a little earlier on. A very good morning to you again, Abongile. Thank you so much for joining us. What happened in court?
A very good morning to you too, Simpiwe. Well, it was a short one, just a brief appearance. Alutha Pasile, he appeared before court. The magistrate asked him whether he's still sticking to the fact that he doesn't want any legal representation, and he said no. And he was further asked whether he still wants to apply for bail, and he said no. Well, it has been postponed now for further investigations. Simpiwe will be back here in the Magistrates Court on the 9th of November. With me, I do have one of the SRC members, Nosicelo Mtebeni. A very good morning to you, ma'am. You were inside court today. How do you feel about this postponement and him reiterating his call not to apply for bail?
Thank you so much, and good morning to you too. I'm very disappointed, to be honest, because this is always the case. Each GBV cases, they are always being postponed, and they want us to lose the momentum and to lose the interest in this case, because they know they will keep on dragging it, they keep on postponing it until we lose the energy, but we will not lose the energy. About to Alutha Pasile, I don't care about how he feels or what he does. It does not concern me. My concern is for justice, for Nosicelo to be served, and I wish a court can do that, and it must be sooner, because this thing is going to frustrate us more. Because on November, we as students were writing exams. So frustration of going to the court and frustration of writing exams is going to cause a lot of chaos.
Spoky, the last time we spoke, it was during the memorial service, and you were very, very distraught. How have you been coping since the time we last spoke?
I've been receiving counseling, so I'm managing the situation, because I've been meeting with the psychologist to help me to deal with my anxiety and to help me to stay calm.
Has this in any way affected your academics and your work as an SRC leader?
Yes, it has, but not that much, because I have my colleagues who are assisting me.
Is the university doing enough to safeguard the safety of students here in the East London campus?
Yes, the university is trying, but they cannot do that alone. We need everyone to be involved, because Fort Hare does not live on their own. They are within the community, so we need the whole community to be involved.
Spoky, thanks a lot for your time, and I wish you strength going forward.
Thank you so much.
Well, Simpiwe, that was Nosicelo Mtebeni, one of the SRC members here at the University of Fort Hare, assigned for gender and transformation. On the other hand, I do have the MEC for social development, Nosicelo Mtebeni. MEC, you've braved this weather and came to support the court today. Once again, we're here in court. What's your take in all of this?
Okay. We really attend these cases because we still believe that our court system, our justice system still does not favor the survivors and the victims of gender-based violence. And that's why we're here to support the friends, the families of Nosicelo and Nosicelo. That's why we're disappointed with the outcomes, because we believe that part of justice is a speedy trial. We believe that Nosicelo, may her soul rest in peace, deserves the speedy conclusion of this trial. Her family deserves the speedy conclusion. And sadly, this is usually the case in most gender-based violence cases, with some of them even disappearing on the pipeline, others because of DNA and other issues. And we believe that our justice system needs to do better. It needs to do better for the women of this country. It needs to do better for the survivors of gender-based violence.
What are you doing as social development MEC to knock on government's door that they should be doing better? What initiative are you taking as an MEC in the Eastern Cape for such issues?
Okay, we have a rapid response gender-based violence task team. It has the National Prosecution Authority. It has the Department of Justice into it. And we use that forum to put pressure and at least to conscientize our colleagues, because we also have the MPOs and the civil society in that task team. And it really does make a difference in ensuring that in the cases that do come up and those that are reported, at least there is urgency in how we deal with them, in how we address them. But again, gender-based violence will need a reform in our laws. It needs a reform in our court systems and how they operate. And that is a long way, and it's a road that we will not tire walking. It's a fight we will not tire fighting.
When one says the Department of Social Development has deployed social workers to provide psychosocial support, in a nutshell, what really happens there and the effectiveness of that kind of work? Kindly tell us.
Okay. The social workers provide grief counseling, they provide assessment and to the families and to the friends and survivors of victim empowerment. But also they do refer and host survivors of gender-based violence who we feel they do not have a safe home to reside in the numerous centers we have in the province. So in addition to that counseling, we do victim empowerment centers, but also we have added an economic empowerment component where we train and skill victims of gender-based violence to be able to learn a skill that will equip them to further earn a living. We have clothing designers with our program with one of the big fashion retailers. We have a knitting and beadwork project and cooperatives that are formed by these women, by these survivors of gender-based violence, and we link them with the procurement processes not only of the department but of government in general, and ensuring that women are empowered, because a large part of why survivors of gender-based violence find themselves going back to their perpetrators is because they have no means to make a living. So it's a great part of the work that we are doing.
MEC, I thank you so much for your time. Let me wrap with Simpiwe, then we speak again just shortly. Well, Simpiwe, that was the MEC for Social Development here in the Eastern Cape, Umama Spokazi, Manila City, saying she was also here in court, inside court, witnessing proceedings, and also expressing disappointment that there has been another postponement in this case that has shocked the country during Women's Month. Simpiwe.
All right, Abongile, thank you so much for joining us. We'll touch base with you a little later on. Abongile Jantjies there is speaking to us live from East London Magistrates Court, wherein the court has just postponed the murder case of Nosicelo Mtebeni, and the accused, who did not want the option of a bail, will be remanded into custody, and the case will be back in court on the 9th of November. All right, this is the agenda on SABC News.